Thursday night, Ben.
Time for the bin. Is that full of Skittles again?
No, but I found one lone Skittle in the bottom of it. You know what happened the other night, right? I'm moving stuff around, and this was on top of a box. And I knocked the box, and this thing went like this. I'm like, don't. And it went like that, and naturally the lid came off, and every single one of these in here came out. And all that was left in the bottom was one Skittle.
One Skittle.
And I ate it.
It's not going to stop me from searching, though.
That's right.
Is there another one in?
Don't trust Glenn's word.
It's like I can feel one in there, but it's just paper. It's a grand illusion.
That's like your ADMSR or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
AMSR.
Oh, I picked up two.
What have you pulled out this time?
Maybe I think you really like it. Annihilation.
No, I don't like that one
didn't
at
like
all.
it?
That's essentially like a remake of Color Out of Space, isn't it?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, this is the movie that everybody talked up as being the greatest science fiction movie of the year, and it bored the shit out of me. And,
Look, I mean, I thought it looked great.
and it was conceptually for the first half, I'm like, I'm on board. This fucking jungle adventure is great, but then where it goes to, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And it was notable for being like the all-female military sci-fi movie, which I had no problem with. I thought all the females kicked ass.
But the problem is that none of them brought anything to the table that was like there was no reason for them to be all female.
No, because it was being a progressive film. Like,
but they don't. You're like, okay, so. There's always like when you watch those movies and they're it's only men in the military.
So what you mean within the story?
Within the story,
there's a crux.
There's nothing.
They would say the reason why we're an all-female is because I don't know.
Men can't be trusted, or in this situation, like men can't reproduce, or whatever. Like whatever the thing
you're right.
Yeah. There's no justification. It just is, and that's the thing to be celebrated. And you're like, well. Like, okay.
So we're cool with it being all female, but it's like, give us the context. Like, lay it down.
Yeah, like if you're going to be proud of it,
yeah,
then there should be a reason to be proud of it, not just it just is.
But all that aside, like I did enjoy every single performance in it, but like it just went into stupid places.
Like if they'd made up a thing where the military in that time is 90% women, fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go with it.
You can. It's such an easy thing to just do a throwaway explanation.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But then you can't do it and then make a big thing about it, but with no context.
So what was and I feel like the movie did suffer from the focal point being that it's all female.
It's just such a non-event.
Yeah. The movie was just too contrived. Was it the guy that made Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Ex Machina, whatever you want to say. Whatevs. My next one that I've pulled out is The Doors. Oliver Stone's The Doors. I used to really, 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 really love this movie when I was a teenager. Like, I watched it a lot, flogged the shit out of it. Usually watched maybe 40 minutes of it because I thought the first 40 minutes was where it was at for me. I do like it, but it's once again, it's a fantasy piece. It's not the story of The Doors. It's just Oliver Stone's interpretation.
I just, what put me off? What put me off about it was that pretty much is that Val Kilmer is just too good looking. Not that, and by extension, Jim Morrison is just too good looking.
Yeah.
Like you're watching all his trials and tribulations, and you're like, all his problems are solved just by the fact that he's good looking.
But I mean, Val Kilmer sang in this film. Like he sounds exactly like Jim Morrison. That was a real. If you watch that documentary about Val Kilmer, they talk about the method he went into acting in this film, and he lived Jim Morrison's life outside of the film.
But what no one talks about is that Kyle MacLachlan's in it.
Right?
Yeah.
Ray, he plays Ray.
Yeah. Kyle MacLachlan played the organ.
Himself.
Yeah.
No one talks about that.
No one talks about that. He did his own organ playing.
That's right. Yeah, it's got a good cast. And
if you can sing, you can just sing.
Was it?
It takes a bit to learn how to play the organ.
Perfect casting. Was it Crispin Glover that played Andy Warhol? I think it was.
Yeah.
That's not a stretch for him.
He never stopped. He's so method. He's never stopped.
Yeah, I do like The Doors. I mean, just because of the soundtrack, I like the soundtrack to it. It takes all of the, I think he took all of the psychedelic stuff from The Doors and put it into Natural Born Killers. Like, there's like maybe 2 or 3 Oliver Stone films when he was tripping on acid big time in real life and cocaine, and that sort of just came out in his movies. And this is, let's call it the acid trilogy.
Yeah.
Because U-Turn was the other one. That's a big mindfuck of a movie, which I
haven't seen that since seeing it.
See, to me, that's cut from the same cloth as Natural Born Killers. Like, it's Waking Fried American style, really.
It's a weird one. Yeah,
All right.
another one.
There we go. The Doors. That's enough. You're good at pulling out multiples.
I got sausage fingers, like in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Southland Tales.
Oh, God, that could have been on our episode on Monday of weird sci-fi films.
I tried to watch this once, and I think I fell asleep within
you know
10
what?
minutes.
Yeah.
I just know nothing about
I
it.
enjoy Southland Tales a lot, but I don't know what it's about, right? It's another one of those, the style and the aesthetic overpowers the story for me. Like, I can just enjoy what I'm looking at. Because it's got musical numbers, it's got, like, action, it's got John Lovitz. Like, I'll watch anything with John Lovitz in it.
I prefer him to be being forced to insert a pineapple up his backside, but no, that's Hitler. It's not John Lovitz.
That's right. Eat fresh. It's Richard Kelly. It's the movie he made after Donnie Darko, and I kind of feel like he was trying to outweird himself. Kind of felt like he was obligated to be that new guy that's the new David Lynch, like the guy that has to be weird.
Yeah.
And Southland Tales, he dialed the weird up. At least Donnie Darko, you can make sense of the weird in a certain way.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest problem with Southland Tales, and once again, I'm prefacing this by saying I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't have Mad World. It doesn't have a slow version of Mad World.
But didn't the director's cut of Donnie Darko not have Mad World? I think one of the cuts didn't. He removed it.
Or did it have the regular Tears for Fears version?
Might be that, but I know he took the song out for one of the cuts. But whatever the case, Southland Tales is just enjoyable for a visceral, experience. But try making sense of it, you probably won't. But you can say that about half of David Lynch's movies.
Yeah. But at least I think they're a lot more fun. I mean, look, I can't. What am I saying? I haven't seen it.
Movie night. Yeah, if we're doing a movie
I know it was
night,
based on, there was a comic, or there was a comic sequel or prequel as well, a comic book that they did.
I don't know.
That came out with it.
See, and then when his third film was The Box, and he kind of toned down the weirdness a little bit. He's like...
Too much.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, here's a great movie, directed by Sean Penn, The Pledge, which I love. This is a 5-star movie for me. If I was to award star ratings to movies, this one to me would be a 5-star.
It's a Jack Nicholson movie.
Jack Nicholson, I think Benicio del Toro's in there.
I can't remember. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But for me, it kind of merges into both The Border and The Crossing Guard.
Yeah, it's very similar.
I couldn't tell you which one.
It's about a retired cop moves to a Dust Bowl town,
which is all those other those two films,
and gets caught up in a murder investigation. There's a child that gets.
Is Angelica Houston in it? Or is she in Crossing Guard?
Tom Noonan is in it, and he's the creepy pastor that's suspected to be the killer.
I mean, that's Tom Noonan.
But the thing is, the cop who's retired did make a pledge to the mother that he won't stop investigating until he finds the killer.
Right.
And the whole crux of the film is there's no leads. Like there's no way of knowing who this killer is. But he's made this pledge and he doesn't know how to resolve it. And it's an old movie. I think
isn't that the first thing they teach you in cop school? Is that don't make any promises.
Slight spoiler alert, or big spoiler alert, but fuck it, it's like 20-something years old. It ends with that shot of him sitting on the front porch of his gas station that he owns, just going crazy like this.
So I thought you were going to say, spoiler alert, it ends with a slow version of Mad World.
But no, it has him practically going insane at the end because he fucking can't solve this crime.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a great film. I love it with a passion. I think it's probably that and Into the Wild are Sean Penn's just masterpieces
as a director.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, when you say, every time anyone talks about Tom Noonan, I always just think it's the kid from Caddyshack, Danny Noonan, and I'm like, oh, it's that guy as a grown up.
No.
Who, it took me years to pick that he's he's Jackie's husband in Roseanne. Look, that's where I know that guy from. He's Danny Noonan.
Yeah, no, so there you go. Let's do one more for the road and then we can wrap up. But yeah, The Pledge. Go watch The Pledge. Even with the spoilers, it's fantastic.
Zathura. Actually going with a sci-fi.
Yeah, that's the official Jumanji 2.
Is it the official Jumanji 2?
In book terms, it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so he made
But it's a completely different game, isn't it, Zathura?
Well,
it's not Jumanji.
But it's the same concept. It's a space version.
Yeah,
of Jumanji.
But what I mean is, in the movie, they're not playing Jumanji and they just happen to be in space.
It's a game called Zathura. So essentially, in movie terms, it was directed by Jon Favreau.
Yep.
And it is just Jumanji, but with a different game. They get pulled into this world of science fiction. I think is it Dax Shepard?
Dax Shepard is the astronaut. Kristen Stewart is the girl.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
It
totally.
is.
Yeah.
I can't remember who one of the brothers is.
The kid from Journey to the
Games?
Center of the Earth. Yeah,
It's the Hunger Games kid.
Josh Hutcherson or whatever.
Who's I don't know if he's actually that much younger than Kristen Stewart, but he's like 4 foot tall.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. He's the little brother. This is a movie that I think, like, before the sequels to Jumanji came along, with The Rock and Kevin Hart and all that, I think Zathura was better than Jumanji. Like, no one wanted to hear me say it, but it was like, it's a much better movie than Jumanji.
I mean, look, I like them both. There's a lot less focus on the going crazy stuff.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Favreau just tapped right into the spirit of
it was straight into the action.
Yeah,
and it is a lot of fun
and scary for a kids movie.
I'm just really focused on this Josh Hutcherson thing because I would have said, had you asked me, I would have said Kristen Stewart and Jennifer Lawrence are contemporaries. They're the same age. I mean, I suppose when you're that age, there's a big difference between 14 and 9. When you're older, that difference isn't apparent. But
well, there you go.
That's interesting. I'd like to see how old he is.
We should do like a Josh Hutcherson cast.
Yeah,
explore the different heights and ages.
Heights and ages of Josh Hutcherson in his film career.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's had different widths.
Yeah, different girths.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you on, I guess, Monday. Another episode coming up. Good Movie Monday.